Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is all that is left. It's all ready to go. Only a couple days left, and I will never be in Massachusetts as a, as a homeowner again. I want to do a quick roundup of where we stand right now because I'm expecting another potential movement on the pistol brace issue. Where are we right now? Okay, so the first case we had last week was the Mock v. Garland case, Firearms Policy Coalition's case. We got a preliminary injunction on that, but the judge was vague in his order. It was like 2 sentences and said that the preliminary injunction would be relegated to the plaintiffs, but it was vague. So FPC followed up with some the request for clarification because is it Maxim Defense or Maxim Defense's customers who would have those items? Is it Firearms Policy Coalition or is it FPC's members? You get the point, okay? So they asked the judge, hey, judge, can you give us a little direction on this? He said, yeah, absolutely. I'll do it on June 2nd, which is a day after everybody becomes officially, felons in wait if you have a pistol brace or a firearm with them attached. So then yesterday, while I was trying to take the day off for my daughter's high school graduation, we had another case break, and that was the Second Amendment Foundation's case, and that was in the Northern District of Texas, but that was a district judge. The mock case was a 3-judge panel in the appellate court, so we're talking like private versus sergeant, okay? And what the judge in the SAF case said was preliminary injunction solely for the named plaintiffs unless the guys above me in the court in mock say that it is for a broader range of plaintiffs. So we have 2 judges who have issued, well, actually 4 judges, a 3-judge panel and a single district court judge who have issued preliminary injunctions, which, in our world, those of us who aren't legal minds, like I'm not a lawyer, but I was involved in criminal procedure and testimony and for a very long time in my career. It doesn't make me a lawyer, but I do have a very strong knowledge of the court and how it operates. Preliminary injunctions, guys, they're not just doled out. They're something that is very special because the judge is saying, we haven't even heard testimony on this, and the plaintiffs are more likely than not, they have a very strong chance of winning on the merits, and we haven't even gotten that far. In this case, it's a constitutional violation. It's a due process clause violation, all kinds of, and Chevron and stuff like that. So, excuse me, I can't edit much either, so you'll have to deal with me clearing my throat. So those 2 cases, phenomenal. We have 2 more solid cases that we're waiting to hear from. And yesterday, the Gun Owners of America and the state of Texas case, they had a status hearing, and that judge basically said, let's get it on. And he gave both sides until Tuesday to get all their briefs in, gave everybody 1 day till Wednesday to rebuke each other's filing. And this judge appears like he is ready to give his decision. I'm thinking it's going to be a preliminary injunction or a temporary restraining order. And he's going to do it before the rule, goes into effect. It's already in effect, guys. When they dropped that rule on January 31st, it went into effect. Gave us 120 days. Us peons, us, constitutional people, gave us 120 days to get into compliance with their BS before they could prosecute you, because they're using their discretion not to come arrest us already. So the GOA case, I think, I've talked to a lot of people involved in this, a lot of these cases. I think we're going to get a national on that one. And even if Mock doesn't give us a national on the 2nd of June, I think we're going to get one prior to that with the GOA case. Now, we also have another strong case in FRAC. FRAC has 24 states with them, and that is a very strong case as well, and we're waiting to hear from that. That could drop literally while I'm recording this. It could drop at any moment. With that said, if you want to stay in this loop, this crazy tangled web of ATF and the pistol brace, and it was good for a decade and now it's not, and how do we know what's going on? then subscribe to Guns and Gadgets down below. Whether it's litigation or legislation or anything in between, I'm going to bring you up to date, guys, every single day, even when I'm in my daughter's high school graduation. So those are the four cases. Two of them we're going to hear from any day. Could be any moment. So subscribe, stay in the loop. And I also want to tell you that yesterday the Supreme Court dropped a decision. It's an EPA case, environmental protection case, has to do with a guy who I think filled in a standing body of water. It wasn't any tributaries, wasn't anything like that. Just on his property, the back of his property, had a small body of standing water, filled it in to build a house. EPA was like, no, we own that. The U.S. government owns that water, and you can't do that. So the Supreme Court came down and said, no, unless Congress expressly gives you that ability, you don't get to create your own BS out of vagueness. And that sounds a lot like something the ATF's been doing, right? Especially under the last two administrations. Yes, the Trump administration as well, bump stocks. So we already had last session of the Supreme Court where they had West Virginia versus EPA. They slapped them down, saying Chevron is a no-go when there's criminal penalties. Now we had yesterday another smackdown on EPA based off of that vagueness, that Chevron deference. Chevron deference, a lot of people are like, what the hell is that? If there is a law and there's ambiguity in that law, then basically the three-letter agencies who are charged with enforcing that law, then they get some deference to interpret that ambiguity. But it's not supposed to apply when there are criminal penalties. What do you think would happen if you were walking downtown right by, I don't know, ATF headquarters in where are they now? I think, well, I can't even think, the NFA headquarters is in West Virginia. You walk right by them on June 2nd or even June 1st at 1 minute past midnight, and you have a pistol brace firearm. If you don't think that they're going to charge you criminally and give you a decade in jail and $250K fine, then you're not paying attention. So that is a criminal penalty attached to Chevron deference. Supreme Court has smacked it down twice, and they've even taken up a case for next session that is probably going to destroy it or really knock it down some pegs. So the writing is on the wall. It's just going to take us some time to get there. But I do think that we're going to hear from these two cases, the GOA case and the FRAC case, within the next couple days, couple hours. So there's a lot of moving parts here, and I'm going to do my best to keep you in the loop. And all I ask you to do is just subscribe to the channel down below. Like the video, share the video, make some comments, and hit that bell icon. I mean, those things take you a couple seconds, and it really helps the channel get the word out. Also, keep this in mind. While you and I watching this, we're plugged in. We're staying in the know. We're right on the front line of the information, and we're doling it out, right? We're getting our brethren up to speed with what's going on minute by minute. There's a lot of us out there that don't do it. A lot of us gun owners, hunters, farmers who have firearms to keep themselves or their livestock safe. Many of them have these items. Why? Because they're easier to control. They're easier to handle. Many of them maybe have disabilities. It's easier for them to control and handle. So let's keep that in mind. Because of that, we need to share this. We need to talk about this. We need to inform each other. We need to talk on all the message boards. If you do that on whatever, Reddit or message board talk, whatever the hell it is, okay? We need to keep each other informed, and it's on you, the viewer, to help get this message out, okay? Because YouTube, if you think YouTube's going to say, hey, y'all need to know this, yeah, I got a bridge in the desert for you that I can sell you real cheap. Guys, I am going to go right back to digging and paying attention in D.C. Also, before I go again, another update on this House Joint Resolution 44. I don't know if you saw the news today. They're still working on the debt ceiling. They worked for a long time yesterday. They're closer to a 2-year, agreement. A little bird told me, thank the Lord for the little birds I have. A little bird told me that leadership is seriously considering, when they come back from Memorial Day's break here, next week to take up a vote in the House on House Joint Resolution 44. Is it going to go through the Senate, which is the Senate version is SJ Res 20, Senate Joint Resolution 20? I don't think so. But to get people on paper, especially if you can get the House as a majority to say this is a no-go, ATF's outside their boundaries here, that bodes well in court. Bodes well in court. And this is going to ultimately be fought in court. You're seeing it fought in court. You're seeing small little pockets of small little victories here with judges that don't have the cojones to say, hey, we all know this is unconstitutional, not just for these plaintiffs, but for everybody. But that is coming, I believe. Strongly believe that. So again, I will keep you in the loop. Please subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one. Have a fantastic day. Take care. And what do you think about what used to be Guns and Gadgets? Man, 23 years in this house. It's bittersweet. Take care.